Do you know about the richest countries in the world? There are different metrics to rank economies of the world. The gross domestic product, GDP, is one of the economic pointers in gross domestic product. At purchasing power parity, per capita or GDP per capita is the aptest metrics to rank economics of the world. It is the value of all final services and goods produced in a country within a year divided by the mean of the population of the same year. Organizations like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund prepares the relevant data, and many organization uses this data to rank economies of the world. Check the top 10 richest countries in the world. This list of the richest countries. Economics of the world can be ranked based on different pointers or indicators, and the gross domestic product, GDP, is one of the economic indicators that provide valuable information. Check complete details from this article. Top 10 richest countries, territories in the world. This list of top 10 richest countries/territories of the world is based on International Monetary Fund. 10 Hong Kong. GDP per capita, $61,020. Hong Kong is a territory with a population of more than 7 million people. It has consistently ranked at the top of the Heritage Foundation's Index of Economic Freedom since 1995, but the region suffers from a relatively high level of income disparity. Since 1997, Hong Kong has been a special administrative region of China, retaining rights such as freedom of speech guaranteed in its basic law. The West Kowloon Cultural District is a flagship cultural infrastructure project which will be completed over the next 10 years. A number of historic government buildings have been turned into cultural or creative centers through public-private partnerships. Today Hong Kong has a population of over 7 million, over 90% of whom are of Chinese descent. Despite a low birth rate, its population is growing, primarily due to immigration from mainland China. Around 12% of Hong Kong residents are mainland immigrants. There are also significant communities of Indonesian and Filipino migrant workers. 9 Switzerland. GDP per capita, $61,360. Switzerland shares its border with Italy to the south, France to the west, Germany to the north, and Austria and Liechtenstein to the east. It has a population of 8 million people. Switzerland is a vibrant country, and you can feel its lively spirit in the languages spoken there, beautiful scenery, lifestyle, and its people. It could be hard to find a place a tourist wouldn't like to visit in Switzerland, but since we couldn't include all of them, we tried to narrow it down by compiling a list with the best cities and towns you should give a try when in Switzerland. They say when people travel, they take memories from each place they visit and leave their footprints there. This may be the reason why people choose to absorb the beauty of the world by traveling. Taking a few memories here, a few there may fulfill one's soul. Fortunately, there is no shortage of beauty in Switzerland's cities, and you can leave your footprints and fill your soul in some of the greatest and charming cities there. 8 United Arab Emirates. GDP per capita, $68,250. The UAE has a population of over 10 million people. UAE is one of the top richest countries in the world. The UAE's economy remains remarkably reliant on oil. The UAE's population was 9.2 million, of which 1.4 million were Emirati citizens and 7.8 million were expatriates. The estimated population of the UAE in 2020 was 9.89 million. Islam is the official religion and Arabic is the official language. The UAE's oil reserves are the 6th largest in the world, while its natural gas reserves are the world's 7th largest. Sheikh Zayed, ruler of Abu Dhabi and the first president of the UAE, oversaw the development of the Emirates and steered oil revenues into healthcare, education, and infrastructure. The UAE's economy is the most diversified in the Gulf Cooperation Council, while its most populous city of Dubai is a global city and international aviation and maritime trade hub. The country has become less reliant on oil and gas, and is economically focusing on tourism and business. The UAE government does not levy income tax, although there is a system of corporate tax in place, and value-added tax at 5% was established in 2018. 7 Kuwait. GDP per capita, $69,670. It is located in the western part of Asia and shares borders with Iraq and Saudi Arabia. Kuwait has the world's 6th largest oil reserves, and its economy is backed by it. Kuwait City is the capital of the Gulf nation of Kuwait. At its heart sits the Grand Mosque, known for its vast interior and chandeliered dome. On the waterfront, the late 19th century Seif Palace features a neo-Arabic watchtower and manicured gardens. Nearby, the Kuwait National Museum explores history and features science shows at its planetarium. Souk al-Mubarakia is a vast food and handicraft market. Kuwait City is the capital and largest city of Kuwait. Located at the heart of the country on the south shore of Kuwait Bay on the Persian Gulf, it is the political, cultural, and economical center of the Emirate, containing Kuwait's National Assembly, Parliament, most government offices, the headquarters of most Kuwaiti corporations and banks. Kuwait City's trade and transportation needs are served by Kuwait International Airport, Mina Al Shuwaik, Shuwaik Port, and Mina Al Ahmadi. 6. Norway. GDP per capita, $70,590. Norway has a population of more than 5 million people. Norway has GDP per capita of $70,590 and holds 6th position in the list of top 10 richest countries of the world. Norway's cities are a little different from many other countries. Let's take an in-depth look at everything you might want to know about the biggest Norwegian cities. When it comes to Norway, the spotlight tends to fall on the beautiful fjords. Failing that, then it's the sweeping mountain ranges or the northern lights dancing in the north. Whichever way you look at it, rural Norway scores big. However, the majority of Norway's population spends life and work in urban areas. Let's take a look at what the biggest Norwegian cities are really like. 5. Ireland. GDP per capita, $72,630. It is the second largest island of the British Isles, the third largest in Europe. This country has one of the highest growth rates in Europe. In Ireland, the term city has somewhat differing meanings in Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Historically, city status in the United Kingdom, and before that in the Kingdom of Ireland, was a ceremonial designation. It carried more prestige than the alternative municipal titles borough, town, and township, but gave no extra legal powers. This remains the case in Northern Ireland, which is still part of the United Kingdom. In the Republic of Ireland, city has an additional designation in local government. 4. Brunei. GDP per capita, $76,740. The country has a population of about 400,000 people. Natural gas and crude oil production account for about 90% of its GDP. Brunei. About this sound, listen. Officially the nation of Brunei, the abode of peace Malay, Negara Brunei Darussalam, JY, is a country located on the north coast of the island of Borneo in Southeast Asia. Apart from its coastline with the South China Sea, the country is completely surrounded by the insular Malaysian state of Sarawak. It is separated into two parts by the Sarawak district of Limbang. Brunei is the only sovereign state completely on the island of Borneo. The remainder of the island's territory is divided between the nations of Malaysia and Indonesia. Brunei's population was 428,963 in 2018. The government is an absolute monarchy under the Sultan, which implements a combination of English common law and Sharia law, as well as direct general Islamic practices. At the peak of the Bruneian Empire, Sultan Bolkiah, reigned 1485–1528, is alleged to have had control over most regions of Borneo, including modern-day Sarawak and Sabah, as well as the Sulu archipelago off the northeast tip of Borneo, Seludong, modern-day Manila, and the islands off the northwest tip of Borneo. The maritime state was visited by Spain's Magellan expedition in 1521 and fought against Spain in the 1578 Castilian War. 3. Singapore. GDP per capita, $90,530. The Republic of Singapore is an island city-state in Southeast Asia. It is the second largest foreign investor in India. This country has the world's highest percentage of millionaires. Singapore, officially the Republic of Singapore, is a sovereign island city-state in maritime Southeast Asia. It lies about 1 degree of latitude, 137 kilometers or 85 miles, north of the equator, off the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, bordering the Straits of Malacca to the west, the Riau Islands to the south, and the South China Sea to the east. The country's territory is composed of one main island, 63 satellite islands and islets, and one outlying islet, the combined area of which has increased by 25% since the country's independence as a result of extensive land reclamation projects. It has the second greatest population density in the world. The country has almost 5.7 million residents, 61%, 3.4 million, of whom are Singaporean citizens. There are 4 official languages of Singapore: English, Malay, Chinese, and Tamil, with English being the lingua franca. Multiracialism is enshrined in the Constitution, and continues to shape national policies in education, housing, and politics. 2. Luxembourg. GDP per capita, $109,190. Luxembourg is located in the western part of Europe and shares its border with Belgium, Germany, and France. Luxembourg has a stable and high-income market economy, features moderate growth. Luxembourg, Luxembourgish, Luxembourg, French, Luxembourg, German, Luxembourg, also known as Luxembourg City, Luxembourgish, Stade Luxembourg or Die Stad, French, Ville de Luxembourg, German, Stadt Luxembourg, Luxembourgstadt, P is the capital city of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg and the country's most populous commune. Standing at the confluence of the Alzette and Petrasset rivers in southern Luxembourg, the city lies at the heart of Western Europe, situated 213 kilometers, 132 miles, by road from Brussels, 372 kilometers, 231 miles, from Paris, and 209 kilometers, 130 miles, from Cologne. The city contains Luxembourg Castle, established by the Franks in the early Middle Ages, around which a settlement developed. As of December 31, 2019, Luxembourg City has a population of 122,273 inhabitants, which is more than 3 times the population of the country's second most populous commune, Esch-sur-Alzette. The city's population consists of 160 nationalities. Foreigners represent 70% of the city's population, while Luxembourgers represent 30% of the population, and the number of foreign-born residents in the city rises steadily each year. 1 Qatar. GDP per capita, $124,930. Qatar is the richest country in the world. It has a total GDP of approximately $124,930 per person. The economy of this small Middle Eastern country is based on the export of crude oil. The capital of Qatar is Doha. Qatar, about this sound listen, Car local vernacular pronunciation, officially the state of Qatar, Dalat Kar, is a country located in Western Asia, occupying the small Qatar Peninsula on the northeastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. Its sole land border is with neighboring Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, monarchy Saudi Arabia to the south, with the rest of its territory surrounded by the Persian Gulf. The Gulf of Bahrain, an inlet of the Persian Gulf, separates Qatar from nearby Bahrain. In early 2017, Qatar's total population was 2.6 million, 313,000 Qatari citizens and 2.3 million expatriates. Islam is the official religion of Qatar. In terms of income, the country has the third highest GDP, PPP, per capita in the world, and the sixth highest GNI per capita, Atlas method. Qatar is classified by the UN as a country of very high human development, having the third highest HDI in the Arab world after United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. Qatar is a World Bank high-income economy, backed by the world's third largest natural gas reserves and oil reserves.